Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Addison and this video is gonna be a book haul video. I don't do book haul videos very often on my channel just because of the fact that I really don't buy that many books, which you will probably not believe after I get done talking about all of the books in this video, but these books were all purchased over a 3-month period. So instead of doing like monthly book hauls or whatever, I do quarterly book hauls. So these are all of the books that I purchased over the first 3 months of the year, and honestly I really did not do that badly. I don't think a lot of these are books that I've already read, and I will explain why I would buy multiple copies of a book that I already own and have already read. I will explain that as we get into the video. So this is my all of the books that I bought in the months of January, February, and March. And February is the heaviest book haul, I think. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe they're all kind of equal, I'm not really sure, but we're just gonna go ahead and get started doing that. If you watched the previous video that went live before this one, you will notice that I am wearing the same shirt and I am sitting in the same location. We're chilling on my bed today, and that's because I literally just got done filming that video, and even though these are going up like days apart, I just got done filming it and I didn't feel like changing my shirt or my location, so we're just gonna go with it, okay? We're gonna get started, and the first books that I got in January is actually 3 books. It's a trilogy, and if I can get them out, it's really big. It is the Wolf Hall trilogy by Hilary Mantel. These are the collector's set that I got from Waterstones. Yes, they were hecka expensive, but it's okay. I have not read these yet. They are really heavy. They're actually historical fiction, and they are set in the time of not a king in England. They're set in like a medieval time frame. Let me pull the first book out and see. I can't remember who the main character of the book is, but it's based on a historical figure's life. Oh, they come with ribbon bookmarks. I didn't know that. Okay. So let's see. Okay, England in the 1520s is a heartbeat from disaster. If the king dies without a male heir, the country could be destroyed by civil war. Henry VIII wants to annul his marriage of 20 years and marry Anne Boleyn. So a very popular time that our authors write about. The Pope and most of Europe oppose him. The quest for the petulant king's freedom destroys his advisor, the brilliant Cardinal Wolsey, and leaves a power vacuum and a deadlock. So into this impasse steps Thomas Cromwell. So the main character in this book is that Thomas Cromwell, and he's like I said, not a king in England, but he's a very prominent figure in England. It said he was born as a blacksmith's son and he's risen to power. So he came from nothing and now has power within the English government in the 1520s, which was a really long time ago. So I really don't know anything about these other than this trilogy has gotten a lot of really good reviews, and I'm always on the hunt for really good historical fiction. It's not a genre that I read very often, but I really like reading it in the summer for some reason. The summer is always when I read my historical fiction novels. I really don't know why, it's just how it works. So that is the first set of books that I got in January, and the books in that trilogy are, I'm trying to put them back, Wolf Hall, Bring Up the Bodies, and The Mirror and the Light. And I don't think this collection, this set, is available from Waterstones anymore. I will look, and if it is, I will put the link in the description box. These were something that they released around like November, like for holiday shopping, and I knew this was the only way I was going to get hardcover UK copies of these, so I forked over like the $100+ to get them, which, if I'm being honest, $100 for 3 hardcover books in a gift set from the UK, like that's how much it cost total, was really not that expensive. If I'm being like completely honest, I've probably spent that much on books from the US that are not as pretty. So that's my first set of books from January. The next book I have is A Deal with Elf King by Elise Kova, and this is the Whoops, the signed book plate fell out. This is the Fake Crate edition. So since this is technically a haul video, I will show you what it looks like, even though I've already looked at it a million times. So this is the Fake Crate edition of this book, and look at that gold foiling. It's so gorgeous. This book, I have already read this one, and it was a ton of fun to read. I think if Sarah J. Maas could have taken A Court of Silver Flames and condensed it down to this size, maybe that book would have been more enjoyable for me. Anyways, that's we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. We have already crossed that bridge and burned it. We will not go back there. So this book was highly, highly enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars. It is a standalone, but there are other novels coming out in this same world, and I think the next one is called, yeah, A Dance with the Pharaoh. That book is the next one set in this universe. I don't think it's about the same characters, but actually I'm pretty sure it's not, because this is like a complete story all by itself, and look at how tiny it is. This was so much fun to read. I gave it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I was saying this is the first book I've read by Elise Kova. I did give her Air Awakens series a try, and I don't know if it was because I was reading the ebook version of it or what, but I just couldn't get into it, and the main character was driving me crazy. So I ended up DNFing that one. But this one, I really liked this one. The next book on my list is the Slytherin edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This book is obviously, I bought it just because, you know, it's the Slytherin edition and I need all of the Slytherin editions in my life. So I'm really failing at getting the rest of these that are out. This is the only one I have so far, and why haven't I bought the rest? I don't even know. So obviously I've already read this book. This is not like this is not an unread book, but look at how pretty it is. So pretty. I really like it. And I'm assuming that's Salazar Slytherin. No, that's the Bloody Baron. I lied. It says right on it. You guys probably saw that before I did. It says the Bloody Baron. And then look at the sprayed edges. They look like the scarves they wear. I love it so much. We're gonna move on to the next book, which is The Fate of the Fallen. Oops, my books are falling over. This is The Fate of the Fallen by Kade. This is an unread book still. In the beginning of January, or like halfway through January, I got stuck in this booktube rabbit trail of watching all of these adult fantasy books for beginners, because adult fantasy is a genre I'm really trying to get into. And I was like, I need to know, like, not necessarily books that are easy to read, but books that maybe don't have such intense themes as some adult fantasy, like Game of Thrones. So this popped up a few times on someone's video. I don't remember where I saw it or whatever, but and I had seen this around on Bookstagram before, and it's pretty thin. It's only 344 pages. So I picked this one up because it is short and it's adult fantasy, and I thought I would just maybe use this one to segue more into the genre. The next few books are gonna be the same. I got them because they were in adult fantasy for beginner videos. And this one is The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. And Brian Staveley is actually pretty prolific author. He has quite a few series that are out, adult fantasy series, and I know this is paperback, but it's a floppy one at least, so maybe it will stay open when I'm trying to read it. We'll see. I don't typically go for paperbacks, but I think I only ended up paying $5 for it, so I'm really not gonna complain too awful much. But if you can see by the cover, it's definitely Asian inspired. Like, there's a freaking phoenix in the background there, so I am excited to get to this. I really don't even remember what it's about, but it looks interesting, so we're gonna go with that. And then the next book is this is not one of those adult fantasy for beginners. This is actually The Angel of the Crows by Katherine Addison, and this is actually a book that was released last year in 2020, I believe, and it's another like short, like this is like the small size. This is not a full-size hardcover. It's the same size as like a YA fantasy book or a science fiction book. It's not a full-size one. So it's really small. Again, it is adult fantasy. The author of The Goblin Emperor, so Catherine's previous book is The Goblin Emperor, has created a remarkable alternate world fantasy where angels inhabit every public building and vampires and werewolves walk the streets with human beings in a well-regulated truce. So this is like urban fantasy, and I see mentions of Jack the Ripper, so this is set in the 1800s. So I'm really liking that. I love Jack the Ripper stories that kind of weave him into the storyline, which is part of the reason why I started reading the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco, and that series ended up devolving really quickly, but I really liked the first book in that series. So yeah, actually reading that has kind of bumped this up on my TBR and bonus points that it's small. My last book that I got in January is Goldenhand by Garth Nix. Again, this is a paperback book, and that's because the other books that I have in his Old Kingdom series are also paperback, and I wanted them all to match because it's really impossible to get original hardcovers anymore of those, although the original hardcovers are really pretty. So this just has a couple of people on the front, and I haven't actually read this one. This is the last book in that series, and I have not read it, so that's another reason why I picked this up, because I haven't read it yet and I want to. So last year I reread the first book in the series because I've read it several times and it's like almost Harry Potter at this point. I don't need to reread them quite in such succession, and they're almost set up to where you don't have to. I think there's only a couple of books that you have to read together, but the rest of them are almost standalone, set in the same universe. They're just about different characters at different time periods in the same universe. So but yeah, I picked this one up because I haven't read it yet, and I need to get further on in my reread of that series before I can get to this one. Otherwise, this one's literally not going to make any sense to me, because I've kind of forgotten a little bit about like what happens in the world after the first book. So that will happen at some point this year. So that is all of my books for January. Now we're going to get on to February, which is a smaller haul than January's was, and that's because I was watching videos about all these books and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, let's get that one. And then I kind of chilled out on that. So my first haul in February was A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Brigid Kemmerer. This is the Fairy Loot edition. You can't even read that. So it's got a holographic spine, and it came with a ribbon bookmark, and the heart, oh yeah, it has a signed book plate too. But this book I have read, and it was a huge disappointment. So, but I have already read it, so it's not sitting unread on my shelves anymore. That was the first book in February. The next book in February is another book. Well, I guess it's a series that I have already read, and I'm just gonna pull them out because they're really pretty. It's The Lord of the Rings. Look at that pretty box. I do not normally keep these boxes, but this one was just too pretty to throw away. The artwork on it's beautiful. And so we have The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and then The Return of the King. And they're just so gorgeous. I just love them so much. So I'm actually in the middle of rereading The Fellowship of the Ring for the third time. So we're this far into it. And then, let's see, it's almost April, or when this goes up, it will actually already be April, even though I hauled these in February. But, so I will be reading both of these in April, or rereading. Third time reread, second time reread. So that's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for that, and I just love this cover. Look at this cover. Like, they have his signature in foil on the top, and they're so pretty. I really like them. This story is very near and dear to my heart, and I absolutely love Tolkien's writing. I don't know. I know it can be a lot for some people, but I thrive on this kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. The flowerier, is that even a word? The flowerier? The more flowery it is, the more I like it. Okay, moving on. The next book I got in February was this, A Court of Silver Flames. And I have already talked about this book, and we're not going to talk about it again. I gave it 2 stars, and that's all you need to know. The next book, or the last book that I hauled in February, is what I'm really excited about. Okay, it's The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon, and this is the Goldsboro edition. And yes, it comes wrapped in plastic, The dust jacket comes wrapped in plastic, so you don't have to worry about the dust jacket. Like, okay, so Goldsboro Books is a UK bookstore. I live in the United States, so this book came wrapped so well. Like, there is literally no damage on this book at all anywhere. Like, you won't find it. There just isn't any. There's no crushed corners. There's no, like, ripped ends or ripped tops. The dust jacket's not ripped. Like, it's freaking in pristine condition. I will be buying books from them, and they don't, they're not like a regular bookstore. They offer a lot of special edition books. Like, this one is, I'll show you. This one is signed, and it's also numbered. So this is like a super special edition book. They only had 750 copies of it available, and I got copy 394. It's got black sprayed edges, which is really nice. And those are bent because I'm clumsy and I stuck my finger in there and it didn't end up well. So it's got black sprayed edges. I do have to take the plastic off to get this. There's a sticker on the dust jacket, and I've got to get that off somehow because it's really irritating me. I just haven't done it yet because I'm having a feeling this plastic is going to be a pain to get on and off. And then on the hardcover, I'll show you what the hardcover looks like. This is the hardcover, and it's really, really pretty. All of the hardcovers in this series have this on them. If you have first editions, they all have this under the dust jacket, and then see, it's pointing to numbers, and you see the 4 is filled in. So on book 1, 1 is filled in, book 2, 2 is filled in, 3, and then 4. So, and it's a 7-book series, so it's pretty cool. This is book number 4 in that series, and it's a really good series. This series is so underrated. More people need to read The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon because it's freaking unbelievable. Her world building and all the writing is really good. I did read her dragon book, The Priory of the Orange Tree, and I didn't care for that book at all, but the Bone Season books are top notch. I absolutely love them, and I really want more people to read them because those books do not have a big enough fan base. So that is it for February. And in March, so March is kind of interesting. I actually only bought 1 book in March, and it was technically a pre-order, so I bought it a few months ago. And then the rest of the books I'm going to show you are books that I've kind of been collecting over the past couple of months, but I needed them for some dust jacket. The book I actually bought, and that is Bone Crier's Dawn, and yeah, I still have it wrapped. This is the Owl Crate edition. It's really pretty and purple and foily, and it really matches their copy of Bone Crier's Moon, and it has silver sprayed edges. You can't see the sparkle. They do sparkle. You just can't see it because of the plastic. So, and the hardcover is purple as well. Okay, so see what I'm talking about? See this? That like little dent right there? There's a dent right in the corner right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a dent in the hardcover. This was shipped to me from the United States to the United States, and it was wrapped in a box in packaging, and it still came damaged. But this book came in a box wrapped from the UK, and there's not a bit of damage on it. I don't understand how this happens. I don't know if it's because the people that are packing the boxes don't take the time to be careful with the books. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming that's what it is, and maybe the people at Goldsboro like hand package all of the books that they send out. Like, they don't pay a shipping team to do it, which that would kind of make sense, because then they're like super like, this book can't get damaged before it gets to its owner. Like, if they damage it, whatever, but we can't damage it. So I don't know, but it just irritates me when you get books like this, like they're special edition, and then they come, you know, damaged. That's not like major damage, but I've seen some pretty bad damage to special edition books, and it always makes me, just irritates me. And I'm like, don't you guys care if your customers get good books or not? Like, I understand that you can't pack everything yourselves and you have to hire a packing team, but if they're not doing a good job, then why are you paying them? That's just, nothing's free, and you can't do shoddy work and get paid for it. That's just how I feel about it. So anyways, this is my actual purchase from from March. The next books I'm going to show you are going to be the Harry Potter Nerdy Ink dust jackets. So I've been buying the hardcovers over the course of a few months to put the dust jackets on, and I almost didn't put these in the video, but I was like, technically it's a book haul because I did purchase all the books even though I've already read them. So I'm just going to show you guys the dust jackets. So this is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and there's Hedwig on there. I love the spines on these. If you get them all up on the shelves and the spines all together, they're really, really pretty. I really like them. Okay. That's book number 1. Number 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I like that it's green. And there's a spine on that one with the sorting hat. And then it says enemies of the air beware. I think these all have Hogwarts on the back of them. So, like, here's the Philosopher's Stone and then Chamber of Secrets, and they both have Hogwarts on the back. So that's really cool. I didn't notice that before, but I'm noticing it now. Okay, the next book, number 3, is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. We have Hermione, Sirius, Crookshanks, and the Marauders map on the cover. Very pretty. I like that this one's purple. And then we have Hogwarts again, and the Patronus, and Mischief Managed, and then Wormtail down here. I'm surprised Lupin's not on here. He didn't make the cut. That's interesting because he's kind of an important character. Anyways, that is book number 3. And book number 4 is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So we have Ron on the cover. He's holding Quidditch World Cup tickets. There's the Triwizard Cup and the Goblet of Fire. And then we have the mermaid egg. Then on the spine we have Dobby, which I really don't like Dobby. I don't like him until later. And then we have the castle and then the maze in the Triwizard Tournament. And it says, where's the fun without a bit of risk? Number 5, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This one has Luna and a prefect badge. And let's see. Oh, there's Harry's prophecy. And then down here, because, you know, Umbridge, we have a Proclamation 98. So that's the cover of that one. And then the spine, and then the back is again Hogwarts at dusk or sunset, and it's really pretty. And then we have Umbridge is walking out of the castle to meet one of the centaurs. I think that's Firenze, but I'm not sure. And then we have some cat plates down there because why not? Number 6. Wow. I was counting movies, not you know, whatever. I got confused. Okay, so we have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince with Draco Malfoy on the cover, and then Voldemort's locket. We have some Felix Felicis down there. I'm not sure if I said that right. I'm not really positive. And then on the back we have Hogwarts with the dark mark above it, and then it says, luck can only get you so far. And then book number 7, the last one, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. We have Neville on the cover. The oh no, that's the goblet that Voldemort put a Horcrux in. And then we have the Tales of Beedle the Bard and the Elder Wand. And then that's the spine with the Dole Patronus of Professor Snape. And then we have Hogwarts all beaten up and damaged from the battle. And it says, until the very end. Aww. That's so cute. Okay, so that's it for this book haul. So that was actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, even though I kept getting off on tangents. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, another super chill video, and I love watching book haul videos from people. I don't feel like mine are the greatest at the moment, and that's just because I don't really feel comfortable talking about books that I haven't read yet. Just because I want to go into a book not knowing anything, so I literally don't read anything about it on purpose so that I can just be surprised when I get to it. So that's why I'm pretty, like, I don't talk too much about the books that I'm hauling, just because I really don't know anything about them at all anyways. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna get off this video, and I already said thanks for watching, didn't I? So yeah, I guess I should have said you should like grab a drink or something, because this is just me talking to you and you don't actually have to pay attention or anything. You can just listen. But I forgot, so I hope you did. I hope you got a drink or a snack or whatever and had just some chill time. And I hope I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!